Jonathan Greenard, you are a Minnesota Viking. Welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Breaking news here on the channel. Jonathan Greenard is signing a 4-year, $76 million deal with $42 million in guaranteed money. Is this the end of Danielle Hunter in Minnesota? What's next for Kirk Cousins? We'll be breaking that down on today's show. But guys, this is why you hit that subscribe button. I told you yesterday when I was making a video in the bathroom because we got a report around Kirk Cousins from Diana Rossini that I want to be your go-to guy all of free agency. So lock us in, hit that subscribe button. Any moves that Minnesota makes, we will have a video for you guys ASAP. I don't care what time it is. I got you. So help me out and help us reach almost 23,000 subscribers here on the channel. But let's break it down. Jonathan Greenard heading to the Minnesota Vikings, man. Honestly, a great deal. Like, that was my first reaction when I saw this. I thought the Vikings were going to completely overpay for him. But 4 years, $76 million for a guy who's 26 years old, I think is a pretty good deal. And also the guaranteed money isn't that extreme. Only $42 million guaranteed. The thing I love most about Grenard, the little fact about him last season, he was on a contract year with the Houston Texans, and he balled out. This is what he did in 15 games for Houston last season. He did have 52 tackles, 12.5 sacks. He is great at getting to the quarterback. He is more of a true edge rusher. I was talking to our Texans Today host here at Chat Sports, and he said he is just a typical edge. Like, he's more of a pass rusher instead of just a more complete edge. Like, he's more of a pin the ears back, get to the quarterback. He does struggle in the run game a little bit, but I like what he's about. He plays with tenacity, and overall, I love kind of these guys coming from, D'Amico Ryans' system. Like, when you have a defensive-minded head coach, and clearly he has developed edges dating back to his time in San Francisco with the Bosa brothers, with DeForest Buckner as well. He's gotten that tutelage already under his system. Now you go pair him up with Brian Flores in Minnesota. I'm very excited that Grenard is here with the Minnesota Vikings. And like I said, guys, this is a pretty team-friendly deal in my opinion. He's 26, young and up-and-coming edge rusher here in the NFL. Now, I do want to get to this point. We'll touch on Grenard here in a little bit more. Danielle Hunter. I think this is the nail in the coffin on him no longer being with the Minnesota Vikings, and I'm pretty disappointed about that because, listen, Danielle is one of my favorite players I've ever watched in the NFL. He has such an unorthodox kind of pass rush arsenal. Like, he pulls off moves on these offensive tackles that not a lot of people pull off. So if you guys want to show Danielle Hunter some love down in the comment section, also type those 99s because I think it's guaranteed. We have seen Danielle Hunter play his last game in a Vikings uniform, but I think they got a great player to replace him in Jonathan Greenard. I mean, look at his stats over the past 4 seasons in the NFL. He came off slow, in that 2021 season, only having 1 sack in 13 games played. He wasn't getting a ton of reps back then. 2021 kind of came onto the scene pretty hot. In 12 games, had 8 sacks, 9 TFLs as well, and 12 quarterback hits. Did get hurt in that 2022 season, was battling in and out of the lineup due to injuries, but he did have 1.5 sacks as well. And then this past season was really his breakout year under D'Amico, under the tutelage of what he has kind of gotten from San Francisco. Clearly it worked on Grenard, and now he is with the Minnesota Vikings in a great deal. And I do think, maybe this is wishful thinking, maybe this is my fandom coming out of me. I think Kirk Cousins is returning today. And the reason I think that, because I think Kwesi sat Kirk down, and I think he said, hey, if you want to take a team-friendly deal, maybe it's 2 for 70, 2 for 80, we will go get you an edge rusher. We will go get you a young, up-and-coming player on the outside, and we'll get him on a great deal. I think this was a little bit of gamesmanship by Kwesi, where he's going to go back to Kirk and his agent and say, hey, we're making moves. We're getting younger. We're getting more athletic on that side of the football because clearly Kirk has been the kind of catalyst on the Vikings winning games over the past couple of seasons. He was 5-4 this past season when he did start, 13-4 the year before with a terrible, terrible defense. Now Kwesi can go to Kirk and say, we just signed Grenard for a great deal. He's going to be under contract for the next 4 seasons. You will have a star edge rusher on that side of the football, and it's just great to see that, Kwesi's making moves because I was getting a little nervous in this free agent period that, maybe Kwesi was kind of going to take a step back and kind of wait for Kirk Cousins to be the first domino to fall, and then the Vikings are going to miss out on a ton of other free agents. I think it was a great move because now also, if we're thinking about this from more of big picture side of things, let's just say Kirk doesn't come back. Let's just say Kirk goes and he signs that deal with Atlanta and it's 2 for 100, fully guaranteed. The Vikings are getting younger. You're adding more talent to this football team. You're not kind of almost like paralyzing yourself on making other moves. You just made a big time move in signing Jonathan Greenard. I think this is a great move for Minnesota. Overall, I'm absolutely pumped. But guys, again, if we get another video or if we get another move here on the channel, I promise you we'll have a video for you guys breaking it down here ASAP. I just can't believe that Kwesi made a move without dealing with the Kirk Cousins situation first. Great move by him. I did not expect this guy to be in Minnesota. It probably takes them out of the Christian Wilkins sweepstakes as well, and it also probably takes them out, like I said, of the Danielle Hunter sweepstakes as well. We actually are getting more breaking news here, Colin. If you go to the player top here or player L3, the Vikings are making moves on Blake Brandel and David Quessenberry. We should get these in our system here shortly. But David Quessenberry is re-signing with the Minnesota Vikings. And then also Blake Brandel is re-signing with the Minnesota Vikings. Shout out to producer Colin being on top of that. Breaking news, breaking here live mid-video. Another big reason why you subscribe. But David Quessenberry quickly, he was brought in last season to just be, he played guard, he played tackle for the Vikings last year. So good, versatile offensive lineman. I do think, with this deal, it probably does mean that, you're probably not going to go get a guy like Robert Hunt. You're probably not going to go guy like Kevin Dotson resigns with the Rams. You're probably not going to go get in one of these top, offensive guards. But also Blake Brandel, I think he's a great option. Just be a backup swing tackle for Minnesota. Obviously, you do have Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill, up there. But I like these moves today. Kwesi's getting active. He's not waiting on the Kirk Cousins decision, which I think is 100%, the right move on that one. And, overall, I like it. I think the Vikings are making the right moves here. And, we just got to wait and see on Kirk Cousins, man. Obviously, Danielle Hunter, that pipeline dream is officially dead. He will no longer be with the Minnesota Vikings. And I think this also takes them out of the sweepstakes of maybe signing another, big corner or a big offensive lineman, maybe the interior. But I just think the Vikings, I still think they have a chance to bring back Kirk. I really do believe this, everybody. Kirk Cousins is more willing to take a team-friendly deal than I think a lot of us think it's still going to happen. I just can't see in my head getting that notification that Kirk Cousins is signing a 2-year, $100 million deal with Minnesota or with Atlanta. I think he's going to want to come back home because he's probably looking around right now. Atlanta's not making moves. Nobody else is really making too many moves. Well, the Vikings are signing that big-time edge rusher, Jonathan Greenard, from the Houston Texans. Kwesi wanted to get younger. He wanted to get more athletic, and it seems like that is what he is doing. But if you guys made it to the end of today's video, and if you guys want to show the newest Minnesota Viking, Jonathan Greenard, some love, make it look like US Bank Stadium on game day. Type those skulls down in the comments section. I want to see it flooded. David Quessenberry also re-signed, as well as Blake Brandel. Moves are being made here in Minnesota, so make sure you guys are subscribed here to the channel. Lock us in as your go-to Vikings YouTube channel. We'll have you covered throughout the entire free agency period. Thank you guys so much for watching today's show. Jonathan Greenard, you are a Minnesota Viking. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.